Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be talking about these 3 gunships that I made. Now, all 3 of these gunships are essentially the same build. The one that varies the most is going to be that orange one over there. Most of these are essentially just color swapped, and so I'm going to be going over what the differences are and how I made these. Essentially, I made these because I felt that they were the most superior gunship that I could have. I wanted to make them, and so I did. And maybe come the summer, we'll have a new gunship that might be better than these. I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe. So, without further ado, let's take a closer look at these. So, we're going to start out with this red gunship here. And now all 3 of these gunships are essentially the 2013 Republic gunship. But they are also modified and mostly combined with the 2008 Republic gunship. And most of that comes down to here at the front, where I wanted to use these front panels from the 2008 gunship, as well as these ones in particular are from the dropship. And these I wanted to use because I wanted the mouth pattern there with the front. So these were fairly easy to add on. All you really had to do was so the 2013 model uses these 1x4 slope bricks, whereas the 2008 model used these 1x6 slope bricks that are more rounded. And so all I did was I swapped out the bottom 2 for those, which extended it by 2. And so where there used to be a 4x6 plate there, I could extend it, put in that front cover there, as well as I was able to make them slightly taller and add on the side pods outside of the gunship, because I wanted to close them off, because I like personally the more space ready look for gunships. And if we can get this open, there we go. So this one, this little compartment, I have kept the little gun rack that comes with the 2013 gunship, and it just holds some of the extra missiles there, but then we can just close that back up as we move on to the rest of the gunship. Now these little side pods here, I really like for the 2013 version. These little dishes were really well designed for these side pods. However, they didn't work quite as well on the wings here, and so I used the 2008 versions that actually share the same print as the original 2002, but they used these hinge pieces here in the back with the little teeth on them. But moving under the wing, you'll notice that it is also closed off. And so how I accomplished that was a really simple build that, yeah, okay, I'm gonna use my hand. I accomplished that with a really simple build that uses some a 2x2 and then some of those axle pieces, or the 2x1s with the axle hole in them, as well as some of these other Technic pieces to attach the door there. And then the other door is the same build that comes on the ship, and so that was fairly simple to be able to do that. And so yeah, that's most of the features of these three gunships. And now they might not be for everyone. I know that some of the pieces can be a bit harder to come by for a lot of people, especially the side panels on the front. I know those might not be the easiest to attain, but if you're looking to build a gunship, I would highly recommend just going on Bricklink and parting out the 2013 gunship and then building it from there, because at this point that 2013 gunship goes for a very high amount, whereas I was able to build this gunship for fairly cheap, around $150 each for these, which, you know, when you compare it to the other gunship prices, they're pretty good. So I think that's all I really have to say for this red one, other than I suppose I should talk about these wings. I used the pattern from the 2013 gunship. Now, the only thing that I find unfortunate about it is that it's on a gray, one of these big slopes, instead of a white one. But I think the print looks a lot better, so I went with that. The 2013 design for that. And so yeah, that's the red gunship. So now let's go ahead and we will switch over to the blue. Now the blue gunship is more of a blue and yellow color. I decided to go with the dark blue and I believe it's called bright light yellow, which is kind of odd because it's a darker yellow. But I chose to go with those two for the gunship because I thought that they looked better than the classic blue and the classic yellow. And the reason why I did blue and yellow is because, as you can see here, that side panel from the 2008 gunship, if we can get this to focus, that's pretty good. It's got the Twi'lek there in the Clone Trooper armor, and she's got the blue and yellow head tails, and I wanted to somewhat resemble that in the gunship here, and so I wanted to do some blue and yellow striping, and I tried to do that with that stripe going down the side there, as well as, you know, I tried to incorporate, got yellow there, and with blue as the base color, and over here on the wings I used the blue pattern from the drop ship. Again, a piece that might not be so easy to find, but I think works well for these gunships. As you can see, once again, same build with the little side pod, and in there, let's see what we have in this one. If I can, that is one thing that's a little bit difficult on these, is because those go so flush with the side there. It becomes a little hard to get them out, but not too difficult. I use these for display, so it's not that big of an issue for me, but if you're looking to build them for play, it wouldn't be that big of an issue either. So you can see we've got a 501st Trooper in that section, and then if we open up this front compartment here, right now I've got nothing in it. If you wanted, I suppose you could take one of these, oh, that's a little close to the camera, one of these little command pods from the Clone Trooper pack, and if you take off that antenna, I think you could fit it in there. I'm not actually sure. Not very easily. They're a little long to be able to fit in there, but you could fit figures or something in there if you wanted. And then let's close that up. And again, I do like this build. It was really simple with the way that the 2013 gunship was already built. Really easy to replace a couple 1x2s with the 1x2s that have the bar, and then use these 4x4s with those hooks and the 4x6s with the poles, to be able to make these nice side doors that cover up those holes. And they go pretty flush with these side paneling, and so that's nice. If we move a little bit over, we can open up these doors. Again, same build to attach those as the last gunship. Then if we get them open, we can see our 501st troopers in there. I've got Rex, phase 1 and phase 2. And you know, you can fit a lot of troopers in this, which was kind of my gripe with the, or one of my gripes with the 2008 gunship, was that while you could fit a lot of troopers in it, it had a big dip in the middle section for a speeder, which they fixed on the 2013 version by putting the speeder there in the back. And so if we close this up, then I can demonstrate real fast why I chose to make these in the style of the 2013 gunship rather than 2008, because the 2013 gunship actually has some technic inside of it which allows you to have this this carrying handle on the top that is really useful. And if I can get it, it is a little difficult. Because of how narrow that section is in there. It is a little difficult, but ultimately it's a really sturdy handle that is really nice, and it's a lot better than on the 2008 gunship, where on the 2008 gunship, you would have to just carry it from the sides, and a lot of the times, because there's so much weight on the bottom and there was no Technic reinforcement, that meant that the bottom would just essentially detach and your whole gunship would break, which is why I ultimately decided to buy the parts to build these, because I had a 2008 gunship and I liked the front printing, and I did not like the fact that it would fall apart. So with that, we will move on to the last gunship that I have and discuss the differences there. Now, this is my orange gunship, or the 212th gunship, and it was made orange to help match with the other 2008 front design of the little monkey lizard there on the front. It has all the orange bombs next to it. And so this one was really cool to make, and as well as I was able to find, and I have no idea if it is the original way that they were, because I'm not entirely sure where they're from, but I was able to find these printed or stickered 1x6s while I was looking for parts for this, and they both say Rhino 2, which I thought was really fitting for the first LEGO EFAP, seeing as the EFAP crew used this after kicking Jay from the Rhino. And because of that, I was also able to incorporate the windows into making the every frame a pause on the side of the gunship there. Now, unfortunately, because of the door design, I have to have this little 1x2 here to try and keep it looking flush and even for that to fully work. If I go ahead and I take that off, and then it starts to shift, but it's not that big of an issue. We'll start back here on this one. There's not too much that's all that interesting about this other than that. Again, this is the same design, which does have a somewhat faulty issue in that it falls out sometimes, such as you can see right here. So I'll have to fix that. But if we open it up, we can see that I've just crammed it full of 212th troopers. And you can see that you can fit a lot of troopers in these gunships, which is the point of a gunship, and I really like that. So if we close this back up, then we can move into the front. So moving forward to the front here, we can see again we've got this pod here. I put the Airborne Trooper in there because the 212th actually has the Airborne Trooper as an available figure. And then if we open up that front panel there, we can see that we just got more 212th troopers in there. And then we'll go ahead and close that up, and then we'll open this front compartment here. And I've got more 212th troopers in there, and one of them appears to be an Airborne Trooper without his helmet. But so yeah, I think that just about does it on these gunships. With the orange one here, if you know about the 2008 gunships, you know that obviously the dropship and the gunship, they had red and blue wings, and so those were easy to come by, but there obviously wasn't a gunship with orange wings that came out during that time. So And what I had to do for the wings here was I had to go ahead and I took the other front, the alternate front design from the dropship. It has the droid head and the clone arm, and I put those on either side of this orange gunship, and then as well as doing that, Lego has not currently made one of those big sloping pieces in orange, and in fact they hadn't even made one of these smaller ones in orange when I built this, so I had to use this light orange number 4, like I think it came from a racer set. I had to use that, and then some of these orange 2 by 1 or 2 or 4. It's hard to tell, but I had to use some of those to create that slope, as well as up here on this top canopy. Lego was going to release some of these pieces in orange in the Technic Off spray, but they ultimately ended up canceling that set before it released, so I only have those in white, which is unfortunate, because if we take a look here on the blue one, I was able to get them in both dark blue and that yellow color, and then on the red one I was able to do them in dark red, but I could not get them in orange for the orange one, which is a little unfortunate. But if we go ahead and take a look at all of the gunships all together, go ahead and bring the orange one over. I think they look quite good. I think that, at least for me, they are the ideal model for both display and play. And if you want to build them, they shouldn't be that difficult. They're not that far modified from the 2013 version. And so yeah, if you want to make a custom gunship, and then I hope this video helped you. And that'll be all for today, so bye bye.